Storm shocker. Giant Asofa-Solomona quits mid-contract. Where next? In the shadowed vaults of a dynasty built on unyielding thunder, can a colossus forged in purple storm simply walk away, leaving echoes of what might have been? This is the shocker tearing through Rugby League's iron heart. Nelson Asofa-Solomona, the Melbourne Storm's towering enforcer, severed from his mid-contract throne, not in defeat, but in a quiet unraveling that questions the cost of immortality. Envision the relentless grind of Ami Park, where winter rains lash the turf like accusations, and the Storm's purple banners flap defiantly against Melbourne's gray skies. For a decade, Nelson, the 120-kilogram Maori mountain with hands like anvils, had been the unbreakable spine of Craig Bellamy's machine. From his 2015 debut, a raw 19-year-old import from Auckland's mean streets, he evolved into a two-time premiership titan, his charges through defensive lines evoking ancient warriors storming colonial forts. By 2025, with the grand finals confetti barely swept from the change room, Nelson's legacy seemed etched in eternity. 215 games, a try-scoring props rarity, and a reputation as the league's most feared forward, his offloads poetry amid the brutality. Yet beneath the acclaim, fissures had formed. Whispers of sideline sessions, a high tackle suspension that lingered like a bruise, and the inexorable tick of an $850,000 season contract binding him through 2027. The Storm, ever the architects of austerity, sense the storm within their storm. Please like, share, and subscribe for more sport talk content. The release came not with fanfare, but a presser's sterile hush on October 9th. Bellamy's face a mask of paternal resolve as cameras clicked like distant thunder. Nelson, flanked by his young family, wife and sons, their eyes wide with the weight of upheaval, stood tall, his voice a low rumble betraying the tremor of finality. It's time to explore new horizons, the club statement read, a velvet glove over the iron fist of mutual parting, freeing cap space for youth's ascent while granting the giant his wings. In the Turning Point's intimate gorge, it began weeks earlier, in the dim-lit coaches, box after a round 26 thriller against the Roosters. Bellamy, the silver-haired sentinel who molded Nelson from boy to behemoth, pulled him aside amid the steam of post-game showers. "You've given us your fire, son," Craig confided, his words heavy as a dropped ball in extra time, but the team's rhythm demands harmony now. Nelson nodded, throat tight, the private pact sealed over a shared glance at the premiership shields gleaming like distant stars, a farewell not born of rage, but reluctant recognition that even giants must yield to the tide. The announcement detonated across the league like a sin bin ejection, fans in Melbourne's cafes choking on their flat whites, their murmurs swelling into a chorus of disbelief. Social feeds erupted, purple-clad diehards posting archival clips of Nelson's 2020 decider demolition, captions pleading, "Don't go, big fella, you're our heartbeat." One veteran supporter, voice cracking in a TikTok tribute, confessed, "He was the Storm in human form. This feels like losing a brother." As the news ricocheted through newsrooms, Bellamy's measured quote cut deepest. "Nelson's a Storm legend, full stop. This isn't goodbye. It's gratitude wrapped in goodbye." Teammates, from Harry Grant's watery-eyed embrace to Jerome Hughes' fist bump of solidarity, filtered into the ether via locker room leaks, their private toasts to the gentle giant, humanizing the headline's chill. Crowd reactions cascaded into the evening. Ami Park's faithful gathering unbidden outside the gates, a vigil of chants and flares under sodium lights. Not protest, but a poignant send-off, banners unfurled reading, "Nas forever," in the purple script of shared scars. Across the Tasman, Maori communities in Auckland lit up with pride-tinged sorrow, elders invoking waka-papa ties that bound Nelson's blood to the club's unyielding ethos. In the aftermath's widening gyre, the story surged through digital veins, Fox Sports ticker blazing Storm shocker, Asofa-Solomona walks, splicing his bone-jarring hits with Bellamy's post-release presser, views climbing into the millions by dawn. Social media became a memorial mosaic. Memes of Nelson as a reluctant Gulliver amid Lilliputian forwards, heartfelt threads from ex-players like Cameron Smith lauding his warrior's heart, each post a pixel in the portrait of a man adrift. Fan reactions deepened the deluge. Petitions for a Storm testimonial match garnered 30,000 signatures overnight, while Sydney Club's accounts coyly liked recruitment rumors. fanning flames of speculation. News outlets dissected the dollars, $1.7 million freed for 2026 signings like a rumored Panthers exile. Yet the human pulse throbbed louder, with parents in suburban lounges turning to sons. See that? Even giants choose paths of peace. Culturally, it resonated in rugby league's storied underbelly, where loyalty is currency scarcer than premierships. Nelson's exit echoed Billy Slater's defiant stays, or the 2010 salary cap exoduses that scarred Brisbane's soul, but laced with Pacific Heritage's quiet dignity, a Samoan Maori ode to one-eye over wallet, reminding that in a sport of fleeting contracts, the truest binds are those of blood and belonging. The ripple reached international shores, ESPN's rugby pod casting it as the enforcer's exile, drawing lines to NFL linemen retiring mid-deal for family sanctuaries. In Melbourne's Pacifica hubs, church halls buzzed with reflections on resilience. Nelson's journey from Auckland's housing commissions to storm stardom, a beacon now dimmed by departure's shadow. By week's end, whispers of where next wove through the wake. Roosters' power vacuum post-Sua'ali defection, or a Dolphins' homecoming to Queensland's warmth? Each rumor a thread in the tapestry, pulling at the league's nomadic nerve. As the echoes fade in Melbourne's autumn chill, what truths does Nelson's mid-contract odyssey unearth about our shared arena of striving? It murmurs of humanity's hidden fractures, the colossus who bends under unseen burdens, where physical might yields to mental marathons, teaching that even in collision sports, the soul's collisions cut deepest. Sportsmanship, reframed through this rift, blooms not in unblemished records, but in graceful exits. Nelson's choice to step aside, sparing the storm the spectacle of strife, a testament to maturity's quiet roar over ego's thunder. It probes legacy's elusive forge, where two shields won amid 215 battles pale against the intangible, the mentorships whispered in huddles, the family moments reclaimed from the grind. In an era of athlete burnout, Nelson's pivot whispers permission to pause, to prioritize the hearth over the helmet. Reflecting on character, we glimpse values veiled in valor, humility in the Giants' concession that teams thrive on tempo, not just torque, integrity in honoring a club's covenant even as one's own compass spins. His story casts sport as sacred right, where departure isn't diminishment, but an invitation to evolve. In the reflective veil of this shocker's shadow, one certainty lingers. Humanity's titans teach us that strength's true measure is surrender's grace, choosing evolution over endurance when the heart decrees it so. Nelson's path, thorned with trade-offs, illuminates our own. What giants must we gently lay down to rise anew? And now Nelson's voice emerges from the quiet, raw as a post-tackle breath. In his first post-release interview, eyes steady on a 9 News lens, he owned the odyssey. The storm gave me everything. Brothers, belief, those nights that echo forever. But family calls louder now, and I've got to answer. No regrets, just respect. Bellamy, ever the philosopher king, layered the lament in a club newsletter. Nelson's fire lit our path. His walk frees us to fan new flames. He's not leaving a legacy, he's extending it, wherever the wind takes him. Teammate Trent Loero, voice hushed in a podcast confessional, added, "Big Nell taught us to hit hard, but love harder. This hurts, but it's his heart leading. That's the real win." From the family fireside, Nelson's wife shared a veiled vow on Instagram, her caption a balm. Through storms and still waters, we're anchored, grateful for the growth, the grace in letting go. Their eldest son's crayon drawing, a purple giant waving from a ship, went viral, a child's cipher for closure's tender ache. In the end, Nelson Asofa-Solomona's mid-contract exodus isn't a rupture in the storm saga, but a resonant chord in rugby's eternal ballad, of bonds broken to mend stronger, of where next becoming why now. It urges us to honor the enforcers in our lives, those quiet quakes who shift worlds without shattering them. As speculation